Well, hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a cat painting. This is a pet portrait commission of an orange cat in a sink. This is Theo, and this is a little mock-up I made up. I didn't change too much in this picture. I just changed it from a vertical landscape type, or vertical orientation to a landscape orientation photo. So I just kind of blocked in the sink and just kind of figured out how I wanted the composition to be. I think he's got a great expression, like he's just saying, "Who, me?" And I love that. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna sketch it out. I'm gonna do kind of some light wash layers, and then I'll probably get into wax pretty quickly. I'm gonna build this one up and have it be pretty bright and fun and textural. I think that'll suit him and the playful nature of it. So yeah, just gonna grab my little round brush here, and I think I'm gonna start with sketching in some burnt sienna. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of my lavender solvent, put a little bit there, and I've got some burnt sienna out on my palette. Just gonna grab a little bit of that. And bring it over here. I'll keep this kind of thin to start. I just want to get him kind of located. So let's say this paw's about halfway there. And if this isn't quite right, I'll just change it later. But try and get it. Face tilt, let's say about there, comes about halfway. Let's say that's about right. Eyeline about halfway there. Get this angle. And then another angle here. I'm just doing straight lines. Sometimes I'll do curves, but I think for blocking in things, sometimes just going with straight lines is actually a little bit more accurate. And a big floofy tail. Couple of paws back there. Don't worry about them just yet. Alright, then I've got edge of the sink. Let's see that one to about here. I thought about, as I was laying this out, I wanted to get this shape kind of lead you in, but not be too. I think I'm actually, this is leaning a little bit wrong. I'll figure that out next. Okay. Paw here, the bottom of it. It's really right past the edge of the sink here, so I'll do. It's a little, I think, maybe I just had a little shrunk. Say. Something like that. Again, doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. See that general idea is about right. This other paw. We've got the bowl of the sink itself, which is kind of about here. He's really filling up the whole thing, almost entirely. This will be a little tricky. So it's not bad to give it a little thought kind of early on. Then I've got my faucet too. The faucet's funny. That's actually, I don't need all the detail on this, but I do want it kind of figured out. Something like that. Just make sure I have everything kind of in frame the way I want it. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab a bigger brush. I'm going to get a couple other colors going on here. I think I want to bring in some alizarin crimson. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Meridian too. This is going to be kind of a purpley dark color. Just gonna put in some tones and just kind of set up the light and dark in this. Create a little texture to work into. Kind of soften some areas too now. These will just kind of be leading us into the scene. They don't need to be strong. As I come over here, I do want this area to be a little bit more green maybe. Maybe a little more green-brown. Kind of trying to find it. I don't necessarily care about matching this exactly. Oh, this is getting a little bit low. Okay. And just put that in there. A little more green. good. A little more. I have to keep kind of doing this. I could keep a little bowl of it out too, but I don't know. It's a little faster this way. I'm gonna get a little bit yellow. Might be a little too yellow though. Some of these colors are gonna be a little over the top. But I'm planning to come back in, especially for a lot of these whites. I'm gonna go back in over with wax, and I just want to have something that's not white to go over. Just not be shy about putting some colors in here. And we got tail. Here, actually, it's going to get a lot lighter. So I'm going to thin this out quite a bit. Maybe not even come too far in here. But and then up here, I'm going to start laying some of these darker shadows here. This can be a little bit stronger, a little bit more of that burnt sienna. See that fluffy tail. Yours are much lighter. Kind of moving really quickly and reacting. Like I saw a little bit of a green shadow here. Some more like brown here. It's kind of using this as a way to lay out kind of all the little tones that I want represented later maybe. Or maybe not, maybe I'll cover them up. But it's kind of a nice stage of the painting to lay in some of those types of things. Okay. It's a little further than I normally would take this, but I don't know. I kind of like it. more with the expression, a little laughter. Just trying to get things in the right spot generally right now. Very sweet, but also mischievous face. All right. See, that's a nice looking mess to work into a bit more. Because I've only used the lavender with this, it's drying fairly quickly, so I can probably work into it with wax without really causing any problems. Let's see. I'm trying to decide now if I want to start a little bit more with him and the details, or if I want to do more with the background. I'm actually thinking about working into him for a little bit. Just trying to get the expression. I feel like the background in this is fairly simple. It's not going to take too much to make it work. So, yeah, I think I may just jump into it a little bit more. Try and get that expression. Okay, so switch to a knife. Wash this brush out. So I think I'll start out with my little round knife. It's the old favorite. And get some of this. Cold wax medium out. Not necessarily going to use this. No, maybe I'm going to use it right away. I'm going to have it ready. Because it's part of the plan here. Okay, so I'm going to start by working into sort of the midtones, I guess. I'm going to go all the way to the darkest areas because I'm going to probably accentuate those a little bit more. And I've got a lot of these midtones kind of laid in sort of a nice way. So actually, maybe it's kind of like the middle highlights. But I'm thinking about some of these lighter areas here. Just trying to give them a little bit more shape. Yeah, let's try that. Mix it up a little today. Use a little bit of titanium, unbleached titanium, a little bit of wax to start. Just make kind of a base color. And then I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna into that. And I'm getting a little bit of this yellow in here. That's okay. Actually, maybe even a little more of it would be even better. Try that. A few different tones I'm seeing over on the right hand side of the face. feel like there's this little line that is sort of follows the side of his nose. Now I've got a lawnmower. Alright, well, I wasn't originally planning to do it this way, but I am going to take a break just because I hear a lawnmower going, so I will be back to do a bit more with this in a little while, hopefully soon. Alright, back in a few. Alright, and I'm back. Let's see. So it's just a little bit later the same day that I started this. I left all my paints out because I was hoping that's not bad. Okay. And everything would still be pretty usable, which it is. So that's nice. So I'm just going to start kind of putting some more colors on here. This is everything I put on with the lavender oil is very dry now. So that's actually a good thing. So, I don't know. Maybe the lawnmower saved us a little bit. Try and just not get too into the details, but I do want to get back into the face here. Just start building up some shapes. I want to bring out some of these highlight areas that I feel like really define the face. And just sort of get things to a little bit of a better state. Alright, I want to make up, do a little cobalt, and a little bit of burnt sienna, and make kind of more of a gray, maybe still kind of a brown, but a little bit more of a cooler gray. I'm going to put a little bit of ultramarine in that too. Just kind of going around here, defining things a little bit more. Got a little highlight on the side of the face here. And then here, a little bit of a cooler gray. I want to just start bringing in this is definitely one of those ones that's going to have a feeling of being quite a mess for a while maybe, but I think it's going to work out. Sometimes kind of the ones with the best sort of gesture at the end kind of go through a phase like that. I'm just going around doing light, dark, warm, cool. Give everything a little bit more definition. As I go, I'm also thinking about somewhat the hair direction. I'm not getting into it too much, just kind of trying to keep it in mind. Take this little brush in for a second. Just kind of mark in eyes where I think they are. Just almost kind of more like a placeholder for right now. I don't like them being all white like that. It's kind of distracting. And I think it helps just have the nose have a sense of place too. Putting in a little bit of this sort of bright orange while I've got it on my brush. Alright. That just makes the face a little easier to see. Grab a little bit of this. All right. That's good. Bring in just a small amount of alizarin crimson and bring in some of this brown. Probably a little bit of this unbleached titanium. Bring just a little bit into these ears here, because they're really more pink. And oops. Again, just kind of kind of blocking out anywhere that there's white right now because I think that there's not quite as much white here overall, and a lot of this is going to be kind of like subtle texture and color shifts and things like that. There we go, okay. And here, it's like a little bit more brown to that pink. Now that I've got a bunch of different colors on my palette, I can kind of just keep popping along in between them. And I'm just kind of examining things as I go, putting in a little of this, a little of that. I want to try and get some of these shapes as close as I can. Such a little character. There we go. Okay. I want to bring in, there's a bit more light down here. Yeah. It's coming along well. Still, everything's still really thin, so it doesn't have the texture that I want to have eventually, but it's starting to build up with a little bit of everything, which is nice. Let's see. Well, it's kind of a fun way to start working. It's just start putting in the direction here. I'm thinking I'm gonna like build this up a lot. Let's see. In a way, this also kind of lets me simplify some of these forms. Bring in a little bit more light. Make an even whiter highlight color here. I don't want to go too far with this yet, but just kind of working it out. I'll probably get kind of dulled back. It may mix in a little bit more anyway, but I want this to start having kind of a fluffy feel to it. these little lines up here are such great little opportunities for expression. I don't want to put these whiskers in yet, but I just want to think about the direction of them. Let's see. Start putting a little bit of fur texture in here. Some of this it won't really matter. I'm gonna come back and do a few layers. So some of this is really just to have the paint sort of take a shape that I like. I'll be able to do a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit later, I guess. Let's see. Okay. I like that color. It's a little bit of brown with alizarin crimson mixed into it. I think it works really well for some of these little shaded spots that are helping give it just a little bit more definition right now. It still kind of has a warm kind of glow to it. browns and reds in here. Mix up a bunch of that. And I'll have it. And then I probably won't need as nearly as much as I made, but it might be a handy color to mix in a little bit here and there. It's starting to have a form now, though. I like that. I'm gonna come around here a little bit more. I'm definitely bouncing around a little bit in this one, but I think you can see it start to happen too. All right. There we go. Putting a little texture on that. There we go. Looks like a little. Trying to get the right angle here. It's starting to come together. Looks like a little lion right now. Back to like, maybe I'll get, I'm feeling like I need a smaller one. I'll try this one for a little while. I don't use this one that much, but it's not a bad knife. It's just not my favorite knife. Sometimes it might be good for small round shapes though, which is kind of what I feel like I'm needing to do right now. I kind of find these major shadows and then just fit them in. I'll kind of reform a few things once I do. Not too bad. And then here, actually need a lot more white. I kind of tried to mark in the mouth, but I actually can't. You can't really see the line, and I feel like it's giving it more of kind of a cartoon look than I actually wanted it to have. Something I could always come back to too. Other thing I'm noticing is this section of the nose that's dark is actually quite a bit smaller. Yeah, normally I don't start in the details and in the face, but for some reason with this one I felt like I wanted to. I think it's kind of like the most important part, and the rest of it's going to be pretty simple. Let's see. And the other thing is this will let me kind of have a sort of a first layer down on that, and I can switch over and do some other stuff while this dries. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to come together. All right, I'm gonna switch gears for a little bit and work on some of the larger areas now. Let's grab this sort of medium-sized knife. And simplify some of these colors. Just make some room on my palette. Just make a nice medium color out of a bunch of them. color I might use. I might use in some of these shadows actually over here. A little bit darker. Start working that in here into the bowl of the sink. Okay. And then over here, we're going to get a bit lighter. I'm going to mix up a good amount of kind of a white. And maybe another one that will be a little bit more blue. Just a touch of cypress blue in there. Might be too blue. And in between, I'm really looking at sort of the bowl of the sink, different things going on here, trying to just figure out which colors I'm gonna need as I move around. I haven't really put any paint on his tail yet. I'm gonna leave this little line here on the sink wall, even though I don't really see it for now, just because I don't want to lose its place. Let's see. Gets a little bit warmer as I move over onto the side. It actually does get a lot more yellow too. Not quite as yellow as I painted it before. And on the sink area, I'm kind of trying to do bigger bigger marks and bigger shapes. I'm not necessarily trying to blend a lot. I'm kind of liking this yellow mixing into it. But I do want this to be kind of nice. Simplified shapes. It'll take a little bit to get it all just right. That's okay. More white. Not quite that much wax though. Alright, mixing that in. Just blend this in here. Paint with wax and it blends a little bit differently to just the straight oil paint. It gives an interesting effect where it does blend, but it takes a little, like you have to work it a little bit more to get it to. Kind of smooth it out afterward. Okay. And I'll just take I'll take this brush into it just a little bit. Just help it blend a little bit more. And smooth it down with that knife texture again afterward, but just help it feel a little bit like a smooth surface. I don't even overblended that a little bit. So it wasn't going to be smooth enough. And I feel like it actually evened out a lot. I'm not worrying too much about having things I can't go over here. I think that it'll sort out in the end. Let's see. Keep that there. I'm gonna start working in here. I need some more whites. Oh, I see a lot of white. So, a little bit more. Okay. And I feel like this needs to come down a little bit more this way. And bring a little more weight, a little more wax, and then we'll decide. A little bit of this brown in here just to create the start of the shape for the tail. I didn't mean to neglect the tail earlier. Just kind of did. Sometimes I get caught up in one area or another, and it takes me a little while to get back around. But it always works out. I shouldn't forget about the sink. It might seem a little weird to have painted that area yellow only to go back and paint it white again, but I think that sometimes like building up layers, especially with wax painting, but really with all painting, just kind of like makes it look better. So that's what I did. Not to over blend this time. Put a little bit more white in here. Do a little more blending. Just kind of working some colors through. There we go. Oh, we've got a sink. That's exciting. Exciting to have a sink. Okay. little blending here too. I'm gonna be real careful though. I don't wanna destroy all these layers. Just wanna smooth it out a little bit. Just keep softening that a little bit. There you go. Oh, maybe I won't worry. Maybe I'm actually tempted to keep the brush texture for all of the sink. Kinda like it. It does give me a little bit of control over this form, a little bit more than I might otherwise have. Which, in order to make it look sink-like, is probably a good thing. It's really funny. I don't know. Cats just are hilarious. They really do get themselves into some funny places. Alright, so let's do just kind of brushing some of the fur over that edge there. Just to kind of make a bit of sense of it. Okay, I'll pop this up here a second just to try and get into this edge here. It needs to be, there's already a lot of contrast here, so this edge doesn't need to be sharp by any means. Just wiping right over the paw for right now. I'll fix it. I'll fix that after. Right now, I just want to get a nice continuous edge. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Get a nice continuous edge. And it can be a little faded. Soft is actually kind of good for this because this, again, it's a strong form. It doesn't really need to be any more more highlighted as it already is. That's pretty good. Alright. Actually, in here, actually more of the bowl of the sink. It's got a lot of different reflections and shadows going on in here because he's got his feet all nestled up. Yeah, it's starting to come along. It's a really funny one. It's always good when the painting makes you laugh. Put in some more over here. It's got kind of a wall color. Looks like a little bit sort of teal to me, so I'm going to put just a tiny bit of Meridian, I think, into this phthalo mix that I had. Start putting it in. Might tone this down. Might be a little too fun, but I don't know. It might be great too. Just cracks me up. Okay. Just gonna step back a second. Yeah. Let's go ahead and fix this paw a bit. It's actually a white paw anyway, so it's almost just contouring the paint again. That's gonna give it the look. We'll put a lot more effort into this later. But for now, at least it's a paw by itself again. Okay. It's funny. It's kind of like actually not doing too bad for how much I haven't really put any detail into it yet. Take a little ultramarine, mix it into this brown though. I think the shadows on this are a little more cool. All right. would be a tough one to get done with a knife, so I'm just gonna do it kind of quick. And hopefully successfully. There we go. It's funny, I feel like it's one of those things, it'll take the highlights, or the little highlights and glare to really make it work, but it's closer. It's probably a little closer than it looks currently. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna scrape out a couple areas here, which I'm gonna turn into highlights eventually, but for now, I'll just scrape them out. I'll put some white in probably tomorrow. But there we go. It's kind of fun. Should I do that anywhere else? Again, I'll go back over these too. It's actually kind of a nice way to sketch some of this stuff in. Yeah, a little bit of this sort of orangey brown. Lighten it just a little. Let's see. This little area here, actually. get a little bit. Where is it? My cadmium yellow jumped out of the bin. Well, at least I found it. Okay. Now what was I doing? Alright, I wanted to go into this area, that's right. Okay. So I have to throw a bit more yellow in here. And okay. Here we go. Okay. And then a little bit more brown into that. Let's go darker. Not like a very red, orange, dark brown. Maybe that'll work. I almost forgot I had that. That was the, it's transparent red oxide. It's sort of like, it's a little bit similar to alizarin, but it's a little bit more of a brown rust color. It's actually rust. No, something I thought about adding it to my palette. I'm not quite sure I really need it, but it's kind of a nice color sometimes. Okay. Here we go. All right. Basic tones, basic structure, and coming together kind of nicely. There are things I need to sort out still, but it's not too bad. Probably take a brush to it for a couple minutes and just kind of mind some edges and sort of just try to get things to a good stopping point. I like making sure that I'm not leaving anything really chunky, like on an edge that I might want to go back into. That kind of thing. Build up a couple of these white areas a little bit more. Wished I'd gotten that a little better earlier. Kind of same idea right here too. Try and get these sort of dark gray tips onto the ears. Okay, that's pretty good. Just gonna look around here, checking out this edge here on the top of his head. It's almost a little bit too dark right here. Let's cover that in a little bit better. It's a subtle thing, but easier to deal with while everything's still nice and wet. Same idea down here. There we go. Okay. And then here, just bringing this arm up over the edge of the sink. Still a little dark right here. Let this fluffiness be kind of mixed over the edge of the sink here. I think just having it look like a soft edge as opposed to a hard edge. It's just nice. Brushing in some of that light. Yeah, okay. A little darkness right in here.
I feel like if you watch your edges, then you can do a lot of things with paint. I don't know how else to really describe it other than it really makes the difference. It's sort of how you see the form of something. That was not the color I meant to put in there. Got a little orange. Some of those little stripes in there. It's too dark. I'm gonna make like kind of a gray. Another blue gray. Might actually be maybe too bright. Just trying to get to that good stopping place. All right. Some of these little markings are going to be better to do afterwards, but I figured I could start hinting at them. The nice thing about the wax is it does set up kind of quickly, so I can work. It's kind of got the best of both worlds with the oil paint and the ability to mix different colors, and somewhat like acrylic. It dries a little bit fast, but it's kind of a different. It's not the same as acrylic. It's quite. I don't know. It feels a bit different. I don't know how else to describe it. It's different. It gets kind of like soft before it like dries. So there's kind of a nice like in between. get some crazy colors in. You can layer some less crazy colors over them. It's a fun way to work. Okay. I feel like I'm at a place where if I really had to push it, I could probably finish this one and now or in this session, but I think I'm gonna give it a little bit more time just to step back. And a lot of times I'll take a picture of one of these on my phone and I'll just like look at it if I'm kind of like bored throughout the day instead of scrolling something. And it's actually kind of a nice, I get a lot of good ideas if I'm like not sometimes sitting right in front of the piece. So sometimes something important will jump out at me. And I feel like this could be one like that. Something just a little off right in here. I'll just simplify a little bit. I think it's just too, this part right here is too dark. Here we go. Let's see. Something with this gray here still. Maybe it's actually kind of going up into this edge here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I really like that now. Okay. Like a couple of little, just like a couple little like soft variations really start to make it look more three-dimensional. Sometimes it just doesn't take a lot. It's really got kind of like a cool like Vim Go vibe right now too. I'm just gonna keep putting in a little of this, a little of that. Starting to, I just really like how it's starting to take form now, so I'll keep going with it just a little more, just a little more. I think sometimes it's like the beginning is all about getting, for me anyway, the beginning is about getting like the values, getting the dark and light, getting the layout, getting the shadows. And then toward the end I get to start putting in some brighter colors, just fun brush strokes and texture. Just making the whole thing kind of come together. Oh, it's really, I don't know, I'm really into it right now. Okay, let's do this little awkward dot here. Just, I wanted to shape that edge of that paw a little bit better. And there's like, I don't know if I need that. Do I need that? It's like the little pulls on the dresser, or on the sink base, I guess. And I kind of like them. I think I'm gonna just put them in there. But they kind of match the, or they could match the, I don't know. If I decide they're stupid, I'll take them out after. Kind of like them. They match that, and I feel like they are kind of, I don't know, they got a good look to them. Just saw that little opportunity and felt like I had to try it. I don't know if I'll leave them like that, but I was just curious, like if I did the scraping for the eyes, for the little sparkle. I don't know. I'm trying. Let's put in a little green in the eyes. There's supposed to be a little green in the eyes. Try it anyway. Like it's really starting. So close. All right, I think it's time to give it a little rest. Let it set up. Give myself a little rest too. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm taking a rest. All right. Well, I'll be back in a few. All right, and I'm back. I actually really like this, and I don't think I'm gonna do too much more. I'm just gonna put in a couple of final details I want to add. Just a tiny bit more light to the eyes, and I think just some whiskers. But I think for the most part, I like how all of the focus is really drawn to the face, and the background becomes a little bit more simple and hazy. So I'm not gonna try to like over refine everything in this. I think I'm gonna just keep the focus here, and yeah, just wrap it up. So to finish up, let's see. Start by doing the whiskers. And for the whiskers, I'm going to use this knife because it's good for a nice straight edge that I can just kind of draw out. Yeah, so I'll mix up a little titanium white and a little bit of linseed oil because I want it to flow. I don't want it to be too chunky. I'm not actually sure if this needs to be white. I might take it back just a little bit too. I'll make a little bit of a gray tone. I'm gonna take some raw umber and some ultramarine. Use that to make a gray. And just a little bit into this. Because I think for his face to look finished, I think I'm going to want this, but I don't want it taking away from everything else. Just going to get my knife really clean. I'm going to do this very carefully. So, just a little bead of paint. They don't show up, it's almost okay, some of them. I think I should have scratched these in the way I did the other stuff. It doesn't really want to go on over the wax. The wax is all dry, so it's not a problem technically, but... And there we go, got a little whisker there. Kind of pop them down. There's a lot of texture here to go over. I don't want to overdo these. I'm going to just get a couple more in here. I'll let that be, I think. This kind of gives the direction of the fur. There we go. That's a good whisker. Okay. Alright. A couple of light white strands up in this ear here. Good. Alright, I'm just gonna switch over into the eye here. Make kind of a yellow-green. I don't need much, so I'm not gonna bother to mix up a lot of paint. Just going back in, tapping just a little bit more paint on. It's gonna just make this color a little bit more vibrant than it was when I mixed it in wet the other day. Oops. Get that little bit of green out of there. There we go. And then I think I'm going to put the dark in a little bit too. Use a brush for that. I'll just do a little alizarin, a little of this mix here, I think. Do a little bit of blue. That looks pretty good. Very small things here. Again, I really don't want to go too wild with this. I want it just be kind of fresh, but I think that worked out pretty well with these. Little highlights into. Let's get the expression just about right. Yeah, I could really keep going and keep kind of infinitely playing with it, but I think that there's a freshness to it that I like. And I don't want to stray too far from that, so. Let's put in like a touch more yellow in the eye. Mixed with a little bit of white. That's about right. Let's make the pupils a little bit rounder. Okay. Yeah, I think we've got it. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, or whatever you're off to next.